live from the Texas Cheer Liquor Studios. It's in the building with Mike Taylor and Rudy J.
It's episode 284 under our watch. Morning, everybody. For those that are watching and listening to this thing live, I guess you can't listen to it live. You can watch it live. You can listen to it later after we run the live YouTube show. Then it gets downloaded and uploaded and all that kind of thing, streamed to all of our different platforms. Welcome in here. It is, if you are watching it live, it happens to be a Thursday, and it is in the building from the Texas Cheer Liquor Studios at the Pub Sports Radio Studios in Southtown, Texas. The audio disseminator is Jose Bouquet. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel for absolutely free at Love You Hard TV. You may listen to us daily on Spotify and Apple as part of the Believe Podcast Network. You can support our show by commenting into the chat to the right-hand side of my screen, and you can also buy us a coffee, which is another way of giving us your money, as Jose Bouquet will no doubt link the Buy Me a Coffee link here momentarily. Please download the Anthem TV app. We're getting ready for our big launch party on Monday. Anthem TV is going to be running in the building starting Monday morning every day. And to celebrate, they want to have a party with us, a launch party that will go down Monday night from, well, I say Monday afternoon, starting at 4. It is St. Patrick's Day. They know that there's no way they're going to have my ass in there till after midnight, so we're going to do it early for the old man. From 4 to 7, this coming Monday will be at McFinnigan's Bar on 410 and Blanco in San Antonio, Texas, as Anthem TV wants to throw us a party and celebrate the launching of In the Building on their television app. And so Rudy and I will be there on Monday for their launch party. You can become a member of this show for only $6 a month. That's it. And Rudy and I are going to start doing members-only shows when he gets back from vacation. And, well, I guess that would be tomorrow. So there's a lot going on. Welcome in here. There is the setup. Bouquet and I are here in the room today alone. Rudy J has the day off. He was on vacation all week in Port Aransas, and it is a travel day for Rudy as he gets back to us here in the wonderful studios of Pub Sports Radio. So you're stuck with me and Jose today. Good turnout yesterday. I've got show and tell to start off with today. When your co-host is taking a day off, you have show and tell. It's a great way to kill time. Oh, it's cool. So the timing worked out perfectly. I would have done this anyway, whether Rudy was out of the room or not. So we had a really good turnout yesterday at Poblano's Mexican restaurant, downtown San Antonio on Houston Street. Corner of Houston, I guess that's St. Mary's, right next door to the old Majestic Theater, across the street from the legendary ancient Gunter Hotel, which has still not been opened yet. God almighty, how long is it going to take to refurbish that place? So we had Poblano's lunch yesterday with a handful of subscribers and Thunderdomers, whatever you want to call them. We got to come up with a name for our subscribers. I guess Thunderdomers. I thought maybe we should move on from Thunderdomers, but it's such a staple with our people that listen to us and watch us every day. So F it. Thunderdomers it is. I even have the t-shirt on. So we had a really good turnout yesterday. I want to give a special shout out here as we get rolling. A shout out to a guy called Nick Matson. Showed up yesterday, had lunch with us, and he was in the building at Poblano's. And so his wife's grandfather, so his grandfather-in-law, I guess, passed away late 2024 and had these 2 huge crates full of old school Spurs memorabilia, programs, pom-poms, clapper thingies from 30 years ago.
Sure.
Game programs, ticket stubs, newspaper clippings, just a giant collection of Spurs stuff, which probably 20% of the San Antonio population has some sort of a Spurs treasure trove in their house. And he bought the two big, like went to like Home Store or something and got these 2 big plastic crates and had his late grandfather of his wife's stuff in there. So he shows up. He goes up to the parking garage above Poblano's, comes down with these 2 crates, and he tells me what it all was. Belonged to his wife's grandpa, who just passed, and then opened up the 2 crates, man, and goes, pick something. As a gift, he wanted me to pick something. I'm like, dude, this belongs to your wife's late grandpa, who just passed like in November, December. He's like, no, we want you to have something from grandma's collection. And so I'm like, golly, I was happy and felt proud, but like almost unworthy, And so I go sifting through these 2 crates out there in between bites of my barbacoa tacos, and I stumbled upon something that stuck out to me, something that predates me even moving to San Antonio, because I didn't move to San Antonio to 2007. And I reach in there and pull this magazine out, and how cool, how fitting, because it has my all-time favorite player. No ball player ever in the history of my life has made me more sports horny than Manu Ginobili. And so what he had in there was the commemorative championship edition of the Spurs 7-game series epic championship run in 04-05 over the Detroit Pistons. Look at that. And it's in great condition. I need to frame it. I wanted to flip through it a little bit, because not only do I like seeing the old pictures and reading the old articles. I mean, this is a 20-year-old magazine that's in pristine condition. I like seeing the old school ads in there. I love old ads.
There's funny ones with the smoking ads. Like,
oh, dude,
you got Joe Camel just in there.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's been 20 years. This will make people my age and older feel old. Bouquet, what are you, 27?
Yes.
All right. So, and when's your birthday, by the way?
September 4th.
Okay. So September the 4th, 2005, you turned 7.
Sure.
So you were 6 years old in the summer of that year when this magazine came out. And it's just super cool. It's 20 years ago. I remember I was living in the Metro Sex, working at Mickey Dallas, and riveted by this series. I loved that Pistons team too, with Ben Wallace and Rasheed Wallace and Tayshaun Prince and Rip Hamilton and Chauncey Billups. What a great series that was. And what a tough-ass Detroit team that was. The toughest of all the outs in all the Spurs championships. This one was the most difficult to win. And there's the picture of long-haired Manu right there on the cover. So shout out to a guy called Nick Matson, who let me have this yesterday. So when I get time today, in between naps and dumps,
sure,
or maybe while I'm taking a dump, because I don't take my cell phone into the bathroom to take a shit, as we established earlier this week. You boys like to keep your phones with you in the potty.
I do. But Mike, I would like to let you know that this morning, while I pooped, forgot my phone.
Good. Probably because you were in a hurry and just forgot about it. Did you go through like phone withdrawal mid-turd?
I definitely reached around. I was like, "Where's my phone?" And then my next instincts, obviously, to just put my headphones in, just and hope that it's close by.
Dude,
but, yeah.
Did you have the urge to like pinch it off before it was done and go grab your phone and then come back and restart?
I definitely did. I definitely considered it.
Don't do that though. For future reference, it is not good for you. It's not good for you to do that. You can't like stop. Oh, there goes. Oh, I've got 2 more turds left, but I forgot my phone. Let me get up and go do something and grab my phone. That's not good for your body. It causes bloating and probably sepsis. Anyhow, so I might take this in there with me, but I will not take an electronic. This here is called a magazine, Jose.
Sure.
It's a mini book of many stories. There's usually not one particular story. There's usually several different stories.
No way.
And as you flip through it, it's made out of paper, and you actually read it, but you hold it. It actually has physical body to it. That's called a magazine.
I have none of those in my house. I'll tell you that.
The last time you read a magazine?
The East Bay magazines that they would send people, and I would just flip through to look at all the cool stuff that I would never buy.
East Bay, like shopping mags?
Yeah, like it's like sporting equipment,
okay, cool.
Stuff like that.
No, this is super badass, and it means a lot because it's Manu. It's 20 years ago this year, and this came from a collection of a man who is no longer with us, the grandfather or the wife of a Thunderdomer and a subscriber to our show. So I just wanted to Let's begin our show today with a little show and tell. And a shout out to Thunderdomer Nick Matson. All right, don't forget did I mention our anthem party? I want to mention that a ton today.
Yeah, I think I actually will be
weekend. There. Good. Have you been to McFinnigan's?
I think so. Yes,
it's a solid bar. Some good dudes in there. An excellent little old school Irish groggery that we're going to be celebrating on Monday night from 4 to 7. The launching of our show on Anthem TV. All right, let's do. I don't know. Let's see. With Rudy out of the room, I'm a little bit discombobulated here.
That's your like North Star, so you need.
I know. But that's okay. That's fine. So what we'll do is when we'll lean on to some of the chat. People are already rolling in here. No one's given us any money yet. I can see.
These are true statements.
They're probably pissed because we haven't posted any members only shows this week. Rudy's been out of town. He took his family to Port Aransas. He and his brother-in-law and their families go down there, I think, every year. And Rudy will be back in the room mañana.
We do have a great idea for members only, our next members only show, though.
What is it?
It's going through the drops.
Oh, absolutely. I think that we should do that tomorrow. Have you been able to load any?
No, because I don't have them.
Oh, yeah, I need to give them to you. I have the USB. I don't want to give it to you because you lost the last one.
Yeah, I would be scared to give it to me, too.
Let me grab it out here. Because, see, he's a kid, and he's not used to holding things in his hand.
Apparently not.
Outside of his phone.
Yeah. It's honestly astonishing. I still look for the USB like once a day, just looking around. It's like,
here we go. I have another copy. All right. I'm going to trust. I'm assuming that since you lost it once, you won't lose it this time. Oh, Jesus. Here, I bestow this upon you.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm lending you that. Oh, good. We got money now. Good. Looks like, well, do we have money? Oh, good. Thank you. I guilted somebody into giving us money.
Yes, and it's our guy, Booty Crumbs.
What's up, Booty Crumbs? What did he throw in here? I can't see.
Anyone going to the Deftones concert?
Is that what he said?
Yes.
Oh, okay. How much money did he? Oh, here we go. Bam, $2. Thank you, Booty Crumbs 60. Only a dude calling himself Booty Crumbs 69. You expect to only get like $2.
I respect Booty Crumbs and all of your $2 of the donation.
Deftones tonight. Where are they playing? Probably Frostbank.
Yeah, that would be my assumption as well. Shout out to the Deftones. I don't know. Is that a band or a person? I have no idea.
It's a band, dude.
See, these are the fun games that I like to play, Mike. Mm-hmm. Band or person? Like Led Zeppelin, I was shocked to find out was not a human being.
Really?
I thought it was a one person. I was like, what the hell is that?
No, that's a band.
Yeah, I was shocked.
What, do you think the lead singer's name was Led?
Yeah, I thought the guy's name was just Led Zeppelin. I was like, that's a pretty sick name.
No, it would have been a sick name for sure. No, it's the great Robert
apparently
Plant.
That's their like gym teacher or something like that. That's what I've learned.
Leonard Skinner.
Sure.
So they named their band after their gym teacher in Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah, another band that I thought was a human being.
Really?
I thought his name was just Leonard Skinner.
That's funny. Well, that makes more sense than Led Zeppelin.
There's some
because that actually is a name, you know.
Yes, I mean, that's a game that I play.
No, so
I'm ignorant.
And then every once in a while, you'll have a musician that like it's one guy, but he calls himself something you think a band would call itself, like Five for Fighting. That's one dude.
Yeah, see, that's the things that fuck me up.
Isn't My Chemical Romance also one dude?
I have no idea.
He just has like a traveling band with him. I think My Chemical Romance is one dude. And Five for Fighting is one dude. I'm like, I actually interviewed that guy from Five for Fighting. Y'all remember Five for Fighting? 15, there's still time for you. I can't do that voice.
That's a good voice.
Only got 100 years to live. So I had that dude on one time, and I'm like, what do I call you? Five?
Mr.
He's like,
Fighting?
no, call me Ben. Okay, Ben.
Mr. Fighting? How am I going to interview you?
Yeah, no shit. So anyway, no, you're excused because you're young, but the hell was I? Oh yeah, so that's a great idea for a members only show. So load those drops into the deal. I'd like to go over some of that with you, and I think there's more than drop. When we get done today, let's look at some real quick together before we leave, if you have time.
Yeah,
because there's I think there's segments and stuff in there from way back in the day.
Which there's a lot.
Super badass. So let's go through some of that today whenever we get done.
We'll do. Right. You know, Mike, interesting question from our guy, Billy Morgan, who's a member.
What's up, Billy?
Billy. What happened to the official band of In the Building? Who the heck was the official band of In the Building?
We have an official musician, Gene Centeno. Gene is a music and he's a jazz professor at the University of Texas.
That's cool.
And he made our intro and has produced a lot of our bed music, which we should play today and every day. I'm a big fan of bed music. I like beds during certain topics, not the whole show, but like certain things. So yeah, his name's Gene. We were looking for Billy brings up a good point because at one point I was trying to find maybe like a house band, which I thought would have been cool. Like Fallon's got the Roots,
I was just gonna say you're gonna have the Roots just in this studio as well.
Questlove in here with his band. But maybe not like a house band that would show up and play live, but like a band that would make us tunes. Look, so here's the deal. We don't have copyrights anymore. When I was at iHeart working for a giant corporate radio company, we could play anything we wanted without permission. We would always play samples of tunes. And we can't do that because we don't have the rights to do that here on the YouTube channel. But we can only play music that we've been given permission. Like if Bono calls me and says, hello, what you doing there? It's Bono. I give you permission to run all of me music. Cool. If Bono says we can run all of YouTube's tunes, we got permission. So we cannot legally play any music without permission unless it is some pre-produced music that you can buy in like a generic music bed library, which we do have access to that. But if I'm going to play like original music, it's not some house band that's made for YouTube. It's got to be permission. So Gene makes his music. I am always looking for bands that might listen to our show. Send us some bed music. And we want to play we will play your tunes on our show because and people that have listened to my show for a long time know that I like bed music sometimes. You know where I got that from? Lyle and Hahn. Lyle and Hahn are probably the most legendary radio duo in the history of our city. They were on that 99, what the hell is that? I don't know. I haven't listened to it in years. It's over there on that Cox. Is it Kiss? It's Kiss. 99.5 Kiss. San Antonio rocks. When I first got to town, Lyle and Hahn was there. That was their morning show. And I noticed that those dudes would literally play like music beds all the time. And I thought, that's different. And I like it. And I like it, like almost like it makes their show kind of flow better. Now you can't have like while you're trying to talk about Tank Lawrence going to Seattle.
Sure.
But you can have you know what I'm saying? Like easy going, not So Tank Lawrence just signed with Seattle. An $18 million guaranteed deal in Seattle. A deal that could be worth up to $42 million. I feel like this is like an 80s video game Punch Out or something. Let's try something else. What else you got in there? I can't talk Cowboys for that. Oh, yeah.
This is fucking music almost.
It's another edition of Xavier Worthy. Got pissed off at his girlfriend and the cops got called.
Not again.
She says he hit her. He says bullshit. She hit me. Xavier got arrested, but no charges have been filed, although she now has a restraining order filed against him. The former Longhorns All-American had a great first 2 years in Kansas City with the Chiefs. Now, I can't talk football with that either. That's not going to work. Is there anything kind of football-y, like NFL film sounding kind of shit?
That's not it.
What else we got in there?
That's not it.
That's back to that Punch-Out 80s video game stuff. I don't hate that one.
Okay.
I don't know that I could talk Cowboys with that bed music, but there's stories that can be told with that bed right there.
Sure.
Mark that one. I don't hate that one.
Sure.
I don't hate that. All right. Well, so we need to go through a bunch more of these and like Kill that one, keep that one, kill that one, keep that one.
Yeah.
Now, I can do this one. I can dig this. All right, did y'all see Tank Lawrence went to the Seahawks? So he's guaranteed $18 million. Good for him, man. It's a 3-year, $42 million deal. With his age and as much wear and tear as he has, I just don't see any way he plays 3 seasons in Seattle. But good on him, man, because it could be up if he's able to get through the 3 seasons. He's guaranteed $42 million, although they'll probably release him after. This is a 1 year. This is a one-off bet for Tank, but it's a guaranteed $18 million, more than the Cowboys were going to give him, and frankly, probably if he winds up making north of 20 over the next couple of years, that is more than he's worth these days, unfortunately. And what struck me about this when I saw this, I was surprised. 2 things came to mind. One, what the hell are the Seahawks doing? Are they rebuilding or not? You know, I get bringing in Sam Darnold. They don't expect him to be a first-team All-Pro. He's a solid veteran, had 15 good games last season until the end of the season when he stuck his head up his ass and realized he was Sam Darnold and sucked in the final 2 Minnesota games and then was terrible in the playoffs. But so I get bringing in Darnold for a couple of years to just get by. But I don't know what Tank Lawrence does for Seattle in the middle of a rebuild. That all being said, the other thing that struck me when I saw this was that now the 2 longest tenured Cowboys that from the last season are gone. Tank Lawrence and Zach Martin, who retired, were drafted in 2014? That's it. And so with the Cowboys are like going young all of a sudden. They have signed a handful of defenders in the last couple of days, most of which you have never heard of. Not necessarily a bad thing, though, because Trayvon Diggs can't be relied upon. I think Diggs is already on the back 9 of his career. He stays hurt. They lost Jordan Lewis, who went to the Jaguars. So as the Cowboys try and make room here to give overrated Micah Parsons the worst contract they've ever given a player, which they're going to do, bar my words. The rest of their defense needs to be low paid, young vexations that are hungry for the next contract running around. And you can get by with a bunch of young, hungry dudes no one's ever heard of if they're out there busting ass. And you got good coaching, which we'll see Matt Eberflus can do this year, the new defensive coordinator. I love the extension they gave Osa Odigizua. They are a hell of a lot younger than they were 2 weeks ago. Still eating up, though, with football herpes, and I don't expect this organization to do any better in the division next year than 3rd in the NFC East. So shout out to Tank, though. He's a good dude, a total veteran, and earned his way. And probably getting overpaid by the Seahawks, but good on him, man. He was a damn good soldier for the Cowboys through a bunch of failed-ass seasons and put up with a lot of crap. 21-4 Live. I've just added Bono to the list of Taylor voices.
That's a solid Bono.
There's this crazy dude out there who has a whole list of characters that have shown up over the years out of my face, out of my mouth. And it's kind of weird that he's got a running list.
I'd like to see that list.
I actually have it because he gave it to me one time. And I saved it. I guess we can add Bono. That wasn't Bono. That was just generic Irish guy.
I don't know. That was screaming Bono.
Oh, well, don't you come out to McFinnigan's on Monday and celebrate St. Patty's Day with the boys as we celebrate the Anthem TV launching party? That's just like generic. I don't know if that sounds like Bono or not. You want to hear some? I've got the list. You want to hear it, Holmes?
Sure.
Oscar De La Hoya.
We know that one, yeah. And so put, what's his name in that? The other guy, Canelo as well.
Yeah, Canelo Alvarez, of course.
That's your favorite one.
I love the Canelo one. Former Texas Aggies radio play-by-play man Dave South.
Can I have a sample of that one?
Huh?
Can I have a sample of that one?
Okay. You know, Rudy's not here today, so we're like discombobulated. So I'm gonna dance for you.
Thank you.
And I don't normally dance like that. I don't normally. You got to give me some money, show me some titties or something.
I'll show you some titties.
Or it's gonna have to come up, and it has to come up organically. I don't normally take requests.
Fair.
However,
lucky day.
This is a rare day with Rudy being out. So Dave South did Texas A&M football for probably 40 years, going back to the 80s until probably 3 or 4 years ago, and retired. And he had that real old school voice, Jose. He did a lot of this. He liked to carry his word. We've got the ball. And he had a real deep voice. He once told me that I was Bush League because we did play-by-play in the same room together one time, and he was annoying because he screams into the microphone like this the whole game and does that. And he constantly reset. And they were all, for years, the Aggies were on Learfield Sports. You've heard of Learfield. I think there's something different now. And so every 30 seconds on Learfield Sport. We got the ball, second down and 15. It's incomplete on Learfield Sports. He constantly mentioned that they were on Learfield Sports, and Dave was known for botching the play. He rarely knew what was going on. If you took an old school radio with you to the game and you watched the game in real person, but listen to Dave, he was constantly 15 seconds behind the play because he was catching up. And so many times over the years, he would lose track of where the ball went. Oh, there's a fumble by Reggie Lewis, and it's recovered by Baylor. No, we got it. They got it. Oh, we got it. Aggies got the ball. And he'd like have the most exciting 2-yard out routes ever. You think it was a 40-yard bomb, and just like pulling back out the throw, he throws deep, and it's complete for a 2-yard gain on Learfield Sports. So that was what he was known for. That's Dave South. Known for many other things as well, but that being one of them. And once told me that I was Bush League. What else is here?
It's beautiful.
Wade Phillips, Big Southern John Plantation, the SEC commissioner, the unofficial. Indian telemarketer, good Lord, which sounds racist already.
That one does. Well, but I'm sure that one's spot on.
Well, the thing about the Indian telemarketer is I'm always struck because they must be told by their managers to lie about their names, right? Because they're trying to get you to buy something. In my case, normally they're trying to get me to buy wiener pills. They usually call and ask if I've gotten my medication. They act like I'm a long time patient. Yes, it's Todd. What's it called? See if you have your medication. Do you need a refill on your medication? Fuck you talking about, Todd? First of all, your name ain't Todd. It's probably something that has like 17 syllables that I can't pronounce. And so I think they're told that I give American names to try to make them sound more personal, but it doesn't work. And I don't need wiener pills. Former LSU coach Ed Orgerman. Oh, yeah, Coach Ed. Coach O, we've done him a lot.
You could do that one. Apparently, you've got a good Pat Mahomes, Charlie. You're going to have to pay to see that Pat Mahomes, but.
Have I done Patrick? Oh, yeah, my Patrick Mahomes is terrible. Jerry Jones, Jeff Traylor, Ozzy Osbourne, Sharon Osbourne, Bill Hader, Canelo, Wemby, Matthew McConaughey, generic NASCAR driver.
Sure.
Billy Parker and right. Mike Tyson, the New Yorker Italian guy, Nikola Jokic, Doris Burke.
Okay.
Well, I love Doris Burke, and every time I do her, people get pissed off at me because she's so beloved, but she cannot speak without slurring her S's. Doris Burke does a great job covering the NBA. However, every time she uses the letter S, she slurs her S's like this. All S's have an H after the S. It's unfortunate. Mike Tyson, DeLoss Dodds, former Longhorns athletic director, Thom Brenneman, Patty Mills, Patrick Mahomes. There's a million, dude. We'll go through some of them later.
Another good members only show.
Yeah, it's good members only shit. You have to pay to get all that, which I'm down to do. All right, speaking of paying. Let me give a shout out to the official sports bar of In the Building. Slackers, there are 5 locations. They're a provider of this show, a supporter of this show, and I support them hard. 5 locations of Slackers in and around the San Antonio area. You got the one on St. Mary's near downtown. You got the one me and Rudy ate crawfish on Saturday for the Crawfish Bowl up on Nacogdoches Road. All these are in San Antonio, of course. For our global listeners and viewers, these are all San Antonio's areas. You got the Med Center location on Fredericksburg Road. You've got the, what am I missing? You got the one on 281 in Thousand Oaks. And you got the one by North Star Mall off of 410 back behind the mall over on Rector. Drew Show is in here. In the building with a $5 donation. Thank you, Drew. Indian telemarketer, gas station attendant, convenience store owner. There, yeah, click on that so I can read it. No-till, hotel, motel checking guy, all the same voice. Yeah, a lot of them are. The first Indian, he may have been Pakistani, and this is racist because I get my Pakistanis and Indians mixed up. The dude ran a place called McLeod's, the first, like, Middle Eastern, Asian, whatever you want to call it, Western Asian store owner that I ever encountered as a little boy. Was in my old neighborhood up in the Metro 6. He had a store called McLeod's Grocery. I always thought it was funny, even at like 7, 8, 9, 10 years old when I lived in that neighborhood, that it had an Irish name, McLeod's, McCloud, McLeod's. But the guy was clearly from like Pakistan or India, and his name was Billy.
Of course, Billy.
I don't know that was his government name. Billy the Pakistani owner of McLeod's gas station. It was our neighborhood little bodega, and that's where I went. Oh, this is back in the day where little kids could buy cigarettes, no problem. My grandma we would drive up to McLeod's. She'd send me in to get her cigarettes, Winston-Salem's Lights. My mother would take me in there and make me go in there and buy the cigarettes too. She smoked Marlboro Lights 100s.
Nice. I used to live by Winston-Salem, so shout out to them.
Oh, the actual town, yeah. So yeah. Billy, welcome, my friend. He would always call me his buddy and his friend, and he'd give me free stuff because I was a cute little kid. So anyway, that guy wound up getting murdered. There's no way to say that. I mean, that's a horrible thing to say. I mean, that's a horrible way to segue into that. So here's what happened. The dipshits in our neighborhood kept going over there and spray painting the building. It was white, solid white. And I always wondered why Billy didn't just paint the damn thing black. He always painted it white and wanted it white. Problem is, the neighborhood dumbasses would tag the shit out of the building, and it would look horrible. And so one day, Billy caught two dumbasses out there tagging the place late at night, and he pulled a shotgun on their asses. But he made a deal with them. He's like, look, if you'll stop, look, if I let you paint whatever you want on the entire side of the store, a whole huge mural, which these were not a big thing back in the day like they are now. Around town, we got murals everywhere now. He told them, if I let you paint whatever you want and make it as beautiful as you want, I'll leave it if you promise to stop tagging the store. And they're like, all right, cool, thank you. And of course, when you're staring at a fucking shotgun, you agree to whatever the guy asks you. And so the next day, some of the homies went up there and made a badass killer mural on the side of the store and like wrote McLeod's in like old English Mexican letters. And then put a bunch of badass like neighborhood themed stuff, which was super cool. Dude, within 6 months, some fuckwad robbed the store and shot Billy in the chest. Sons of bitches.
That's how it happened.
Yeah, I was probably 11 or so. I mentioned that my childhood was rough.
If you wanted more of that, go to Pickles for Dinner.
Oh, yeah, you've heard some of that shit on Pickles for Dinner. Luis Flores is in the building. $5. What's up? Buenos dias. Listening while I'm at work from Arizona, making my morning easy. Thank you and be safe. Thank you, Luis. Rudy's off today if you're just getting by the channel. He'll be back mañana. Let's do People I Want to Punch, presented by the Law Office of Orlando Kill, the official family lawman of In the Building. It is Orlando Kill. He brings us People I Want to Punch. All right. Jose, do you have anybody you want to punch? If you do, be thinking ahead.
Well, I'm going to punch you right now.
All right ahead.
Guess what?
Did I get out of order?
No, because we have these lovely intros now.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I know. I'm a dumbass. I'm going to get this together. All right. It is In the Building on Love You Hard TV.
Now, it's time for People I Want to Punch on In the Building.
Punch me, dude. All right. Do you have any of the images of the baseball caps that went viral the last couple of days?
Yeah.
Dude.
My favorite image.
So I should have looked up the CEO of the company. That way I can actually punch a human. I want to punch the hat making designers, I guess. Whoever the human beings are that work for New Era that came up with this idea. Let's splash the name of the city or the state across the hat, but then put the logo over the front of it. And they did this for all 30 whatever Major League Baseball teams we have. Clearly, the people that came up with this idea were stupid because, first of all, that looks awful anyway. But what these very Caucasian, God knows where this company's based. Hell, they might not even be in America. Maybe it was a guy named Billy in Pakistan that came up with this idea. Let's put the letter over the entire thing. So, like in the case of the Rangers, it says Texas across the hat, but they put the T over the Texas, right in the middle. And for those watching, the new Rangers hat released by New Era says tetas on it.
Yes, it does.
Which is the slang term for titties. It says tetas. What the fuck? And you know what they were asking for this hat online before they pulled it when they got called out by the world? $49.99 for that hat. $50 for a Tetas Rangers hat? No.
That's a bargain now.
Well, shit, now because they pulled them now, the ones that have been sold are being sold on eBay for like $1,000 to have the Tetas hat. How stupid.
You would definitely buy that hat.
Have you seen what they did to Houston?
I've not.
See if you can find that and post that one here in a second. So they put Astros, right, rather than Texas, and they put the H in the middle. And so it says asshos. What the fuck were they thinking?
It does indeed.
So when you put the logo right in the middle, it has ASHOS because the letter underneath the H is hidden. The T's hidden. And so rather than saying Astros, it says asshos right in the middle of the baseball cap. The Angels came off weird too. I think the A's one says ass on it. Okay, there's the asshos. What the fuck we doing?
And that's $50 right there.
That's a $50 hat. And before they pulled them, or is that one still up? Did they just pull the Rangers ones?
That's a good question.
I think they pulled this one too.
They better have.
You can't have the Houston Astros cannot have their organization being represented by people walking around with their hat saying asshos on there. How dumb.
Not the best New Era design.
Not the best idea by
one.
New Era. So punch the makers and the designers and the dumb. I mean, how many different people have to approve this before they actually release it to market? Several people do, including the editors and CEOs and whatever. So punch everybody who works at New Era, unless they're doing a bit, which I can't believe that they are. Because if they find out that somebody was just being funny, they're going to lose their job. You cannot walk around with a Tetas hat.
No.
So punch their dumb asses. How ridiculous. Do you have anybody you need to punch besides me for forgetting the intros as usual?
No. I mean, I would punch myself because I'm going to look at this damn USB stick and hope I don't lose it. But no.
How about we just guarantee me? Why don't you guarantee me you won't lose this one? You only get the one mulligan. Do I need to sit here with you and go through all this morning when we get done and then take it back with me to make sure that I keep it in my person? I can.
Well, what's actually going to happen, I'm just going to put it on this computer and then send it to me. But
all right. So I was going to say, can't you just load all that shit, download it to yourself, and give me the hard copy back, the little thingy?
Yes,
the USB. All right. And then we should go through some today and delete some that I don't want.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
There's so many.
Right. I want it for myself because I want to stick it into my laptop and go listen to some on my own leisure.
Yeah, that's when I started feeling bad when you were like, yeah, I wanted to go home and just listen to
bring back all these memories of back in the day. Yeah.
This is my legacy.
He fucking loses my legacy.
What are my kids going to look at now?
Right. I know. You're right. I went on this long, beautiful rant about how I've just been so bad about my career. I'm not a collector of things. My brother, USB equals little thingy equals flash drive. Little thingy, he knows what I mean.
Come on, Matthew.
So I lost my track. My brother made me laugh. I forgot my train of thought. No, I went on this beautiful little speech earlier in the week. I was so happy to have on this USB. I have all this old audio that I thought was long gone. I'm a minimalist. I don't have a lot of stuff. I don't like having a lot of shit. I don't have a lot of clothes. I don't have a lot of shoes. I don't like a lot of things in my house. I like simple. And I'm not a collector. I think it goes back to my childhood because we moved so often. Yeah, I think it probably goes back to me having trauma in my childhood because with my mother, we moved so much. I never got to keep anything. Well, I like to get rid of all these toys now because we don't have room for them on our move as the cops close in on my stepfather. So let me take it with me. And or like take only the most special things and shit can 80% of my possessions. So I think because of that and the trauma, I just got to the point where I didn't keep anything because I knew I was going to lose it. So then I find out that there's a USB at iHeartRadio that has a shit ton of stuff that I did not know existed. And I'm all excited, ready to go through it all. Go back and listen to some old segments, relive some memories that I probably would have never had again because I forgot about stuff and never would have thought about it ever again. It's an opportunity to walk down memory lane. And then Jose Bouquet texts me the next morning, I can't find the USB flash drive, a.k.a. little thingy.
Would you like to hear the funniest part about that?
I'm sure, yes. This is only funny because I have a duplicate copy. Had I not had a duplicate, none of this would be funny. But what is it?
I woke up, like I went to bed really early that day, and I woke up at like midnight, and I was like, where's the flash drive? And I looked for it, and it's like I woke up in a cold sweat. I just knew, and I was like, oh my God, I don't know where it is. So let's try not to be an asshole and lose the USB, as our guy Greg says.
Yeah, and forever now it's asshole, not asshole.
And maybe that will get through your, your radio compliance. You're not saying asshole, you're just saying assholes.
Correct. No, I'll try that tonight on KLMO Radio and see what they think. Speaking of which, there's a beautiful segue tonight. We have In the Building Radio. Rudy will be he'll be back for the radio show tonight. So Rudy and I in the flesh tonight on KLMO Radio in San Antonio, also on their Roku channel on Alamo, Tejano, San Antonio on their Roku channel, and on Magic 104 in Corpus Christi on their Spectrum Channel 6 Roku channel tonight, 6 to 7. Me and Rudy. It is In the Building Radio tonight at 6 o'clock. People I Want to Punch, presented by the Law Office of Orlando Kell. Thank you to O'Kell, my man, UT Law grad. Enters his 26th year of practicing family law in San Antonio, Texas. He is the man. It is Orlando, 210-775-4995. You can email him at orlandokell.law@gmail.com. If you need a family lawyer, divorce, prenup, annulments, custody, adoption, anything, the word family, whatever that means, Orlando's your guy. It is Orlando Kell, the official family lawyer of In the Building. Subscribe to the YouTube channel at Love You Hard TV. Listen every day on Spotify and Apple as part of the Believe Podcast Network. You can continue to support us if you want to by commenting in the chat. Support us even further with a tip through the Super Chat or the Buy Me a Coffee link. And thank you hard for doing that. Got another punch. I got a few punches today. This requires some notes here. Let me pull this article up here.
Oh, boy.
Dude,
must have been a hell of a week for you.
Well, I want to punch this guy. I want to punch the now former head basketball coach at Juarez Lincoln High School down in the Valley, Joe Kazmierzyk. Got like a Polish looking name. Joe Kazmierzyk. We'll call him that. Called him Coach Kaz. All the kids did. Dateline Valley. San Antonio Express News. A Rio Grande Valley High School basketball coach was fired after filming sexually explicit photos and videos on school grounds and posting them to a public social media account. This dude in his office at school was jacking off, rolling video, and posting it. You know, I might call a USB flash drive a little thingy, but I know better than to jerk off on a school property and then post it to social media. Even I know that. Head basketball coach Joseph Kazmierczak, a.k.a. Coach Kaz, now he's called Coach Jizz, who was put on leave from Juarez Lincoln High School last summer, according to the La Jolla Independent School District. This all just now getting out why he got put on leave. So they put him on leave last year. No one really knew why, not on a massive level. But now the San Antonio Express News has gotten a hold of this. Yeah, he was jerking off at school on video. There you go. This requires some bed music. According to the investigation, a former student contacted the athletic director, Victor Garza, and said that her brother had found a public Twitter, a.k.a. X account, with what appeared to be nude photos of Coach Kaz and even videos of him masturbating in his office and on school grounds.
That's ugly business.
The account, which used the handle RGV Fun Times,
Okay.
had also reposted pornographic content, according to the student. Now, Coach had not shown any of the kids what he was doing.
Thank God.
He just didn't figure that any of the kids would ever find out. How fucked up is that?
That's a short-sighted person, right?
No
there.
shit. The first people that are going to find this are the kids. My first week teaching, when I spent those 60 days, whatever it was, teaching, I lasted 3 months.
Yeah, congratulations. We're two teachers here. I was an after-school teacher. Come on.
Within an hour, they were able to, oh, Mr. Taylor, you have a podcast? Oh, jeez.
Yep.
It took them an hour before it started going all over the school that the new history teacher has a podcast.
Oh, God.
What makes this fucking moron think he's going to get away with jerking off and posting it on Twitter on school grounds and thinking it's not going to get out or come back to him? What a dipshit. How dumb. This guy deserves to go to prison just for being stupid.
Yeah. Tough one. Maybe he's an old man, just didn't know that this Twitter machine goes to everyone. That's just for him.
I love that, the people that do PR for these big school districts, the stuff that they write is so funny.
Oh, good.
This behavior is inconsistent with the responsibility to maintain a safe and respectful environment for students. You don't say. Why write that? Right, he's a fucking whack job. He was jacking off at school, and we fired his fucking ass, and we hope he goes to prison. I wish a PR company would release something like that one day. Drive the message home that you can't spank your monkey on campus and then post it. What a dipshit.
Spank your monkey. Wow.
Yes.
I'm going to steal that one from you.
All right ahead. It's old. It's an old school reference, so go right ahead. All right. Show brought to you in part by Texas Cheer Liquor. Do we have those? We still have the March specials up there?
Of course.
Yes. This is normally with Rudy. I can't do Rudy's voice. Yeah, man.
You can't do his Russian?
Svetka vodka. Yeah, no, I can't do Rudy's Russian. I can do my own. But let's see. How do you do Russian? I get German and Russian mixed up. Like the German talks like this. If I was from Germany, I would say, go get this vodka. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be the German, but I'm going to tell you, I don't drink vodka because it's from Russia. I'm German. I would never promote Russian vodka, so let's get to Russian in here. So the Russian has to do, I'm trying to come up with my, what's it, Zelensky, the guy from Ukraine?
Yeah.
He has that very distinctive Soviet-sounding, Mr. President. So I must say, hang on, I must break you. I'm trying to think about the Russians. They roll their R's. The Germans don't roll their R's. Russians roll their R's. Well, that's Irish. Go get some goddamn Svetka, if you would. Svetka. Yeah. Svetka vodka. Come drink it with me. Got Burnett's.
Come on.
Look at that. Now Burnett's, that's fucking hooch.
Yeah, wow.
Also on discount all month long at all Texas Cheer Liquors, Burnett's. What's the other one? Yes. Jose Cuervo. Little 4-packs are nice. Chicks love these too.
You'll be shocked to hear that I've been called Jose Cuervo throughout my whole life.
Oh, of course. Of course. 21 for life. German and Russian voices added. Jesus. Let me work on my Russian. I can do the German.
You just need a phrase to get you into it.
I can do the German. It sounds like an American doing stupid, stereotypical German accent.
I mean, you're Hasselhoff.
Yeah. Yeah. You know why I got German? Because I covered Dirk Nowitzki the first 6 years of his career, and I've watched a lot of German porn. That's why I've been able to pick up the German accent. But the Russian I struggle with. So thank you to Texas Cheer Liquor for being the official liquor store of our show and being our studio sponsor. There are 7 in the area, 6 in San Antonio, 1 in Bernie. Those are the March specials, and everything else in there is 5% off when you mention in the building. You can't say the dudes that do radio or the old washed up radio hack or the podcast wannabe or the overrated idiot who thinks he's half Mexican, but he's only 33%. You have to say in the building to get the 5% off at all Texas Cheer Liquors. All right. We won't go much longer because Rudy's not here, and I feel like I've got my right arm gone. I've gotten used to working with him.
Yeah, you're sick of me already.
No, I'm not. We got stuff to get to. Jack Daniels, I wonder if the teacher was using a flashlight, not a flash drive. Okay. I shouldn't have read that. I think he was using his hand. He was going old school. All right. Jose's a big baseball guy. I was going to get into this today anyway. Yeah, I'm at the risk of coming off. We'll call this my closing rant. At the risk of coming off as old man guy, I'm going to do so. So we got spring training wrapping up. The big league baseball season's about to get up and running again. And we, storylines galore, of course, in the first couple 3 weeks of spring training. It's Tommy John surgery for Garrett Cole, the Yankees ace. Their number 2 guy, Louis Gill, is out at least 3 months with a real bad lat strain. And the Yankees start the season with their 2 top starting pitchers out. Cole for the year, Gill for probably the first 3 months minimum. And so that's spring training's too long as it is. You wait and see what guys are going to get hurt, before you bet money on the regular season. But Jose bets on the spring training games, which is insane. But then I'm going through injuries and stuff, trying to find out, this is when I crash course baseball, like these couple of weeks here.
Sure.
Because I don't keep up with that shit like I used to. Like who's gone where in free agency. I check the Rangers roster. I'll check or should I say the Teta's roster?
Yep.
I'll check the Asshoes roster. I think Altuve's going to the outfield.
He is.
They brought in a new guy to play second base. They lost Bregman to the Red Sox. So I think they signed the White Sox third baseman, I think now is in Houston. This is when I start trying to keep up. Okay, who's gone where? Who's gotten hurt? And the other thing you see this time of the year are monstrous contract extensions. And baseball contracts have been blowing people's minds for over 100 years. That's true.
Yes.
But dare I say, never more like this. I mean, because again, I don't want to come off as that old man who over exaggerates things. But when you look at what baseball players are getting paid now, even versus 15 years ago, it's no wonder that Rob Manfred, the commissioner, has already come out and said, with mics and cameras rolling, I wonder if we'd be better off with a salary cap. Translation, I want a salary cap. This is out of hand, what these kids are getting paid now. And the NBA's out of hand too. We're Devin Vassell, who's a spare, makes $30 million a year is bullshit. But you see some of these baseball contracts. So Vladimir Guerrero's kid, who's turned into a big star with the Blue Jays, was literally pissed off last week that the Blue Jays only offered him $590 million guaranteed. And that pissed him off.
Yeah. Spit on that.
You can take your $500 million and wipe your asshole with it and smear it all over your tetas. I ain't signing for no pissy old paltry $590 million.
Tell him.
And the reason why that pissed him off is because it was still more than $100 million less than what the idiot New York Mets gave Juan Soto. This is what baseball has become, where the Mets now have $3 billion in guaranteed money to their current 25-man roster over the next 15 years. It's a 15-year, $765 million deal for Soto. They're going to pay him $51 million a season on the average. On the average.
Oh, yeah.
Where is the incentive to continue to get up every day and play baseball? How do you keep these dudes motivated? This is a 15-year contract. Dude, and I know even at 50 years old, like right now, if you give me $51 million, I am retiring after one season. Even if I don't retire, I don't give a shit about getting up and playing ball. I'm going to half-ass it. It's guaranteed. There's no Orlando Kell that can swoop in and nullify the contract. It is guaranteed money. You know, I try to keep a youthful outlook. I try to stay young and malleable and roll with the evolution of sports in our country. But the guaranteed money, and this is what the bigger clubs do, like the Dodgers and the Mets, is they roll the money into futuristic guaranteed money. They defer money way down the road. Like, aren't the Dodgers going to be paying Shohei into the 2050s, I believe? Yeah. Good Lord.
His whole contract is basically deferred.
Yeah, it's all deferred. They'll be paying him when he's 70. You know, every year we have Bobby Bonilla Day because the Mets did a deferred deal with Bobby Bonilla for 30 years. So every, like, whatever day it is, Bobby gets like $1.8 million. And it's fucking Mets. And the Mets, they get made fun of every year on Bobby Bonilla Day. Dude, in 10 years, we're going to have 100 Bobby Bonillas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, one of the highest paid players on the Cincinnati Reds, it's still Ken Griffey Jr.
To this day.
Yeah,
right.
He's still getting paid out there. Like Manny Ramirez is still getting paid out for the Red Sox.
Paid. Yeah. And what are they paying Manny? Like a couple of $1 million, something like that?
Probably just to hang out, you know.
Brian says, so Bobby Bonilla's day is July 1st. It's coming up. So
what a beautiful day that is for him.
I think that's almost done. Or it might have been done last year. I think I read where the 30-year was coming up for Bobby. Like the contract was finally coming up wherever the hell he lives. And look, I get that. Look, man, Babe Ruth once got quoted. Like somebody asked Babe Ruth one time in the early 30s. Somebody asked Ruth, this was like right before FDR got elected. It was like 29-30. A reporter asked Babe, you made $450,000 last year. Don't you think that these contracts are getting out of whack? Do you think you deserve to make $450,000 a year? And Babe goes, well, I had a better year than the president. No, then somebody go, well, you make more money than the president. And Babe goes, well, I had a better year. He took a shot at Calvin Coolidge. So this goes back 100 years. I mean, I remember a time where Nolan Ryan in 1980 became the first guy ever to make $1 million in a season. And the old school said that was it. Hell in a handbasket. Baseball wouldn't exist in 10 years. Now, I remember in the late 80s when Kirby Puckett became the first guy to make $3 million a year. And that was going to end the world. So granted, baseball's been blowing away the public with their salaries forever. But what's going on now is incredible. This is over the top where we're guaranteeing dudes like Juan Soto could like today have a foot bitten off by a shark. And he's going to make every effing cent of that $750 million over the next 15 years. I don't know how that is sustainable. You know, it's one thing where Babe Ruth is your highest paid guy. It's one thing where Kirby Puckett is your highest paid guy. These are Hall of Famers. But you got like the backup catcher for the Tetas. I'm calling them the Tetas all year. Who's probably going to make 10. But like, what's the average player? What's the average salary right now? $9 million? Like your backup utility dude who goes up and down between AAA and the big club all year long is probably making $9-10 million.
Would you like to know MLB average?
What is it? Yes.
4.66.
Okay.
2.9% increase from last year.
All right. It's 4.6. So it's lower than I thought. But man, I don't know how this is sustainable.
Yeah, I mean, you've got MLB owners crying poor all the time. You know, your Marlins, your Tampa Bay Rays.
Now, F them, by the way.
Of course.
And I've done this rant too. I don't want to hear from the Marlins or the A's or the Pirates. Fuck them. They're cheap leeches. They're these little leech bugs that suck on the body of big sharks and swim all around eating bacteria off sharks. F the Marlins, F the Rays, F the Pirates, and F the A's. I'm talking about the other end of the spectrum, though, is that it's gotten so crazy with the money. I just wonder if, like, where's the incentive to come up? We play 162 games a year, and that's if you don't go to the postseason. And you look at it's like the highest paid athletes in the world. I mean, you got fucking half of them are baseball players.
The other half are boxers and soccer players.
Yeah, it's insane. It's nuts. Where, like, you know, the left fielder of the Marlins makes just as much money as Patrick Mahomes. Like, I'm a capitalist, but at some point, enough is enough. Baseball has got to be headed towards some sort of a salary cap. At some point, what I would like to see is a cap, and I'd like to see relegation. I'd like to see owners stripped of their franchises. I'd like to see less teams, because Oakland's they're never gonna spin. I don't give a shit. They're going to Vegas. Tampa Bay, their stadium is a shithole.
Yeah,
they're never gonna spin. The Pirates don't spin. I think I read a stat where the Mets guaranteed money that they owe the 2025 roster is more money than the Pirates, the Rays, and the Marlins have spent collectively in the last 25 years together.
That's crazy.
It's ridiculous. They shouldn't be in the league, and there's got to be some sort of a stopping point at the top.
Yeah.
I just don't know how this is sustainable to have these little shitbag organizations at the bottom, and then you got these 4 or 5 at the top. They're going to spend billions of dollars. It's incredible where it's going. So there's that's it. That's all I got. All right, we got radio tonight. I got to go get ready for. Rudy and I will be doing In the Building radio tonight on 2 frequencies in San Antonio on KLMO on FM. So be advised, you can listen to it on the frequencies. You can download the app. That's the best way to do that. It's crystal clear on the app. There's no static, no old school radio interference. Go to the KLMO app and listen to us there. Or watch us on Facebook, because the station runs everything they do on their Facebook page, and I'm going to share that on all my Facebook pages tonight right at 6. And so another hour of me and Rudy tonight at 6.
You guys will be able to talk about everything. You guys will be like long lost. Like, it'll be like Andy and Red. Zoo Montenegro, the whole thing. You guys will see each other.
Oh, okay. We'll embrace on the beach and all that kind of thing. I mean, he's only missed the one day. I think I just talked to him this morning. I think we're okay. So Rudy will be back at 6 for radio, and then back on the podcast In the Building. Podcast mañana. All right. Love y'all hard. Thank you to Bouquet. Thank you to the people. Talk to y'all on the radio. Old school tonight. Got to get all the cussing out. See you tonight at 6. Love you hard. Bye.